And then the humanoid demon.
Hello everyone, my name is Lord Monkey. I am, as usual, very wholesome and glad to be back for this wonderful episode that I'm really excited about. The other one.
Welcome everybody, I'm Arif Karma, you can call me Karma, I'm the scuffed one of these podcasts.
Hey, K-Dot, if you know a lot about SCPs, you want to join us?
Yeah, absolutely, it would be a saving grace because I know next to nothing.
Yeah, Karma didn't do his homework.
I did do homework. I did kind of do it, but I only got 5 things out of the 3 videos I watched.
Oh god. Damn you.
No, I didn't read the wiki.
I've got so many wiki pages opened. Hi, K-Dot.
Oh, I was muted. Hello.
Hello.
It should, are you using Discord Reactive? Alright, hold on. I can pull a PNG to put in your browser source real quick. Alright.
Yeah, because you're used to the YouTube ones where they're drawn by artists. And then... Oh yeah, no, it's an old game.
Yes, a very old game. It's...
I mean, it looks like a governmental like site thingy, I think.
I mean, it's still fun though.
I love the SCP Universe so much.
I recently started to get into it. And I've just been like... I've been like doing nothing but like watching these 3-hour videos of like different categories of SCPs, or like these different stories of all these SCPs. Yep, just open it just put that link into a browser source and it should work. Test 1 2. All right.
Yeah, it's been a while since we used an reactive image.
Oh. Yes. I know a mixture of both, with I guess my own little theories in
Ooh.
here and
there. I know there's... Okay, I know 5 things. There's a sentient computer. There's a humanoid demon thing. There's a humanoid demon thing that kills you after you look at its face.
That's 096.
Yep. 096.
There's a giant unkillable kaiju monster.
That's
Kaiju
682. That's 682.
682. And oh man, dude, how much much
No,
about
I got two more
682.
things I know. So there's this agency thing that's trying to destroy the world.
I think
the
he's
Chaos
talking.
Insurgency?
No, I think he's talking about SCP 001 Scarlet King.
Hold on, monkey. Hold on, monkey. What did you say?
Oh,
The Chaos Insurgency?
Okay, what did... that sounds about right. Yeah, that sounds about right. Then there's this. Then there's this. Shit. What was it? I already forgot it now.
no, that Peanut is the one that freezes. That like freezes when you look at him.
That's
Oh,
the Shy Guy.
Oh, shy. Yeah, shy guy. All right.
Was that? Was that the thing?
Basically, yeah. If you
Is that like
stop
3 foot
looking
tall
at it, it
thing
cracks
that
your neck.
snaps your neck?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I know that one too.
Yep. AK.
No,
the
its
ne-
official
no,
nickname
no,
is the statue.
Yep. This.
The
Oh,
sculpture.
sculpture. Yep.
Yeah, the sculpture.
Yeah. You know, we got it. We got it eventually. All right.
Nice. Yeah, because there's -1 and -1s or -A or
Yeah.
I like a teddy bear SCP.
Yes, there is. I need to find the number, but I can tell you if you just y'all continue. I'll tell you all the number
Was
later
that?
on.
Oh, is that the ear one monkey?
Yes, the
one-
teddy
Yep.
bear that can make copy of
Oh,
itself
And
using things.
Okay.
yep, and people think that it's also the teddy bear also made another teddy bear that could heal everything. So
My mic has been muted this whole time on stream. Fuck.
Fucking hell,
no.
Yeah, blame Karma. Blame
Why
Karma.
are you blaming me for that?
Yeah,
In
blame
No,
Karma.
it's a reflex.
Nighttime Rave wasn't
It's
just
a reflex.
Alright,
You know? Everybody, we always need a little bit of scuff in the Nighttime Rave.
yeah. So, all that's happened so far is I've done my intro. Hello, I'm Raven. K-Dot has joined us. I don't know if I've said anything important so far. I don't think I have. Either way,
Hopefully.
I was going to show the monitor now. This is the list of SCPs in Containment Breach. But before we get to these, I think we should have Monkey explain what is an SCP.
I've got a whole Word document of stuff to talk about the SCP universe. This is gonna be a fun episode. The
Yes, it
SCP
is.
universe. Imagine our version of Earth, but this version of Earth is inhabited by anomalies that can range from a coffee machine that can make any sort of liquid you want, as long as there's a liquid form to it.
I thought it was a
To,
soda machine.
No, it's a coffee machine.
Okay.
Oh, and by the way, the bear that heals people, I was thinking of 2295.
2295, right?
That is not in the base game, unless it's a joke SCP. The only joke
To a-
SCPs in the game, actually, is 420 and 789. Oh, and the ducks. I forgot about the ducks, sorry.
And to like a creature that could to multiple creatures that could end the world in what is commonly known as an XK class end of the world scenario.
Yep. And there's also a universe class. I forgot what that was. I think it's EC. Is it?
Probably.
I
C
actually
class?
want to jump in really fast and just say that there are a lot of categories for SCPs that is being reworked, and has been a long rework in the making. There's supposed to only be 4 classes:
Yeah, safe
Euclid,
class,
Keter, Safe, and
neutralized.
no. Well, technically neutralized is one, yes. But I was
Well-
thinking of world-class scenario enders. I can't think of the name of them.
Kepler's.
Apollyon.
Apollyon. That's one of the names.
Well,
they
there's currently
use.
6 of them. Safe, Euclid, Keter, Tamil, Apollyon, and Archon. And I found a great analogy that on their website to describe it.
Actually, Monkey, there's about 30 of them, actually.
I know, but those are the main ones.
Yes, that is correct. A lot of them are just
We're gonna
used
s-
one-offs.
We're gonna stick to the main ones because they're the ones that are used most commonly. So here's
They also
this is
make
called what is
one
the
for
box
me.
test. This is called the box test.
Do you have a link to the box test so I can show it on stream?
Well, it's just a few sentences.
Oh, I thought
I
there
can
was
read
a thing
No.
for it.
So if you look in a box, leave it alone, and nothing will happen. Then it's probably safe. If you look in a box, if you lock it in a box, leave it alone, and you're not entirely sure what will happen, then it's probably Euclid. If you lock it in a box, leave it alone, and it easily escapes, it's probably Keter. If it is the box, then it's probably Tamil. So a Tamil SCP is an SCP that can be used to contain more SCPs. A good example would be SCP-3000, whose secretion can be used as a really strong amnestic.
Yeah.
But it's a gigantic sea serpent that spans almost half of America, so...
I pulled this open so you guys can see it, and then on the right I fucking see Bingus and Germa.
Okay. If you can't fit it in a box and it's about to end the world, it's probably Apollyon. So as we said earlier, Apollyon are world XK class end of the world. We need to keep this asleep as best as we fucking can type of SCP. And if you could have locked it in a box but chose not to, then it's probably Archon.
Did you say Thaumiel at all?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Is that
Archon
okay?
is basic.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Archon is
I'm
basic.
sorry.
Fuck.
Sorry. I'm I have it pulled up so you guys can see it. You see Safe, Euclid, Keter, Thaumiel, Neutralized, Uncontainable, and I don't know about most of these except for Apollyon.
Most of those, like you said, are one-offs.
Yeah.
Except for like neutralized, where like it's an SCP that was neutralized,
Yeah.
and an SCP classed under like understood, which is like an SCP that you basically know everything about. There's like nothing more to research about it.
Yeah, but for example of one of the one-offs is if you need drugs to contain it, it's most likely Asepia? I don't know how to say that, but this is like an idea. Like, that has nothing to do with the lockbox test, really. Because it's a
Yeah.
one-off.
Drug it.
Yeah, drug it.
Schmediate.
Yeah, Schmediate. Do you have anything else you want to say about the, classes first?
Well, not really. It's good that like, if like everyone could tell from the text, Keter is one of the most dangerous containable SCPs, and they are the most entertaining to learn about. Euclid and Keter are the most fun to me.
If you don't mind, I would like to
I
give an example of my favorite SCP.
Fuck yeah, let's go.
Oh,
yes.
It is a Keter SCP that I have referenced to my friends very often, and actually is a reference in our art. I'll show you really quick. You see that little mask on the right there? That is supposed to be this SCP, or at least a version of this SCP. SCP-35, known as the Possessive
Oh.
Mask.
035.
It is a Keter class object. The easiest way to describe it is it has 2 anomalous effects. The first anomalous effect is anyone who wears the mask is possessed by it, and it has its own like goals and thoughts and everything, and you just completely lose your sentience to it. The second effect is that it slowly decays everything around it into this. I don't know if they say it here. It's like
It's
a
a black
goo.
goo.
Yeah, it's a black goo, but it also has
Imagine
like
something that was soaked in acid, basically.
yeah, if
basically
it's soaked in
tar.
acid, but it also causes like hallucinations and like tentacles and things like that. It's just my favorite SCP because I always wonder what would happen if the possessive mask came into contact with a immortal being. Because normally if you wear the possessive mask, even if you're controlled by it, your body would decay from its second effect. But if you were impervious to this effect, or if you constantly regenerated, what would happen to the possessive mask, I wonder.
Imagine putting that on 682. How dangerous that could be. Like, the possessive mask with the power of 682.
682 is the hard to destroy reptile or impossible to destroy reptile, depending on where you in the timeline you're reading.
Lizzie.
Lizzie.
Oh, the impossible to kill kaiju monster. God.
Yes, it is called a reptile technically, and actually, there is an image for SCP-682.
Why did they only put the claw then?
This is the
Because we
image
know what
known
it looked like.
as SCP-682. I don't know, because that's the claw in-game, that's the only physical of it in the game. This is the icon, or the image used on the wiki article of it.
It's so. I always say this, but it's so fucking ugly.
Well, yeah,
I
it's
mean-
supposed to be. It's, like, constantly morphing and evolving. Basically, imagine a human filled with tumors. And except
That
it's an
thing is
alligator, not
far
a human, I
from
guess.
being-
It's an alligator.
You also gotta realize that they've been trying to kill this thing for so long. Do you understand how much damage they've done to this thing?
Yeah.
And it won't go down.
This thing has many reasons to hate humans.
Oh yeah, it has so many reasons.
It bathes in hard, in like really intense acids 24/7.
Yeah, the way they contain the SCP is basically just dousing it in acid 24/7, and constantly, whenever it's not being doused in acid, it's being subjected to other SCPs to try and kill it.
Like this SCP is the sole SCP that survived an encounter with 096. Because 096 ended up clawing at the freaking walls of the enclosure to get out.
Where is 096? There's 096. That's Shy Guy. Shy Guy, if you look at him, basically, he will chase you anywhere. If you see his face or a picture of his face.
682 bitched the shit out of Shy Guy.
Yeah, 682 just fucking bitch slapped the Shy Guy to the point where like they were both really fucking like damaged.
Honestly, all right. Before we like continue, like cause there's so much we can like go over about 683. It's like 682. It's actually just crazy.
No.
Like there's just so much lore behind this one guy. This one SCP, excuse me, and it's actually ridiculous. Like, cause that's actually kind of the reason why I enjoyed the SCP. Like, what would you call it? The SCP Universe?
Yeah, the SCP
Multiverse?
I would say
Uh,
SCP verse. Like
There is a
there's
multiverse in the SCP universe, though.
Yeah.
Because the technically the universe got
Yeah,
destroyed.
technically multiverse. Yeah.
Well, I don't know the number of this SCP, but there is an SCP of a time traveler. Well, not even a time traveler, a universe jumper, or whatever you want to call him. Who basically, he was just a Class D. Just to explain really quick, Class Ds are the test subjects. They're basically criminals or people who have been wrongfully incarcerated, possibly. They are just used to test subjects, and they're basically used as cannon fodder.
Basically, the
it's
people
one
that
of-
would have got the death penalty, they got sent to the SCP Foundation.
Yes. Not even all of them got the death penalty either, though. That's worth mentioning.
Most of them though.
Most of them did, yes. Again, we'll get to that. Basically, though, one Class D survived an end-of-the-world scenario by putting on this suit of armor that was like impervious to destruction, and using like
5,000?
maybe it's 5,000 I'm thinking of.
I think the SCP that you're talking about, wait, wasn't it the one that, like he survived like a nuclear war? I'm trying to think of the.
I believe this is the one you're talking about. Yes, SCP-5000. Yes, basically, he survived like a nuclear war or some kind of end of the world scenario by putting on a suit of armor, and the suit of armor is SCP-5000.
Oh, I'm thinking of 2273.
2273.
Yep, SCP-2273.
No, because I recognize immediately the SCP is not the humanoid entity that survived, but this could also be very similar. But, SCP-5000, the reason it's so interesting is because, it establishes the multiverse, as far as I'm aware. This is one of the first ones that established the multiverse. Or at least it was a big effort that required a lot of writers in order to write this.
Yes.
And there's a huge thing. And apparently SCP-579 is here? I don't know? I forget exactly what's going on with this SCP, because it's been a while, but yeah.
My favorite is very popular. My favorite was always 049, not only because like I really like how it's designed,
049?
the Plague Doctor.
Like.
But also, if you look at its wiki page, it's so beautiful and detailed. There's vocal interviews with on the SCP site.
Yeah. Oh god.
And you have a freaking X-ray of its skull.
That's actually pretty fucking cool.
Where you see like where the mask is actually bone, and the nose part of the mask is actually like all bone structure.
Yeah, the mask itself is his skin.
Yeah, well, everything is part of the body, even the cape and the hood.
Yep.
That is very interesting. I did not know about that. See, if you guys want to research any SCPs, make sure you go to scpwiki.wikidot.com. I'll put it in chat really quick so you guys can see it on screen. Basically, you just type in any number you want, or you can search the SCPs by the series, and it shows you all of these SCPs. There is a lot of SCPs. Let me see. Those are joke SCPs. These are explained SCPs. This is something else. There we go, Archive 7. Let's scroll all the way down. There is 7,000 SCPs. About. You'll see that some of these say access denied. That means that there is no SCP for it, I believe. Yes. So, people are basically filling out the numbers as things go on.
Yep, as they find SCPs, as they say.
I just see this is Spinal Tap as one of the SCPs. And you see, a lot of them now have different looks compared to how they used to be. You see this one here has a disruption class, a risk class, a secondary class, and a containment class. Compare this to
049.
Yeah, or just any other one.
Yeah, they're like the first 100.
And you see that there's basically no information about anything except for its object class here. It doesn't have all the fancy graphics and images and everything, though.
But what about SCP-055?
SCP-055?
It doesn't exist though, doesn't it? Isn't that the SCP that isn't that who that?
Yes, it's an anti-meme.
Can be no. Yeah, it's the thing that you clearly can't know of it.
Okay.
You can only know what it's not.
Really quick, I'm gonna switch screens just to make sure I don't show anything here. There's an SCP.
So, Wait.
Oh yeah,
hold on, Monkey, if you
2521.
really
I
know-
love this SCP.
On what?
Have you
What is
guys
that
ever
one?
seen 2521?
I
I have not.
do not remember.
So SCP-2521, there is no written or verbal, like, proof of its existence. Because it simply destroys all photographic and written instances of itself. And if anyone were to speak the name or the SCP number of this SCP, it would appear out of thin air, grab them, and then just disappear. So, because there could be no written anything about it, the entire SCP page is described in picture form. So as you see here, it has a Keter class. It is considered locked up. Any information about it, symbols is fine, written is not okay, talking about it is not okay, and digital is not okay. Multiple people should not learn, or classes 0, 1, 2, and 3 should not learn about it, but class 4 and the 05 can learn about it. There's basically like a couple of things here saying it cannot be contained. It understands words, but it does not understand like pie charts and symbols. And then there's like some very basic information here about how they tried to test it. It is one of my favorite SCPs. It's in my top 5, I would say. For such a basic concept, it's pulled off very well.
Have you guys learned of Here Be Dragons?
Oh yeah.
Yes, of course.
That is like one of the most famous SCPs once you start digging into SCPs.
Yeah.
I know, but it's such a
Do you know the
great
number?
and sad SCP though.
Actually, I do have the number. Give me a second.
I could probably search actually Here Be Dragons, or Here Were Dragons, sorry.
Here were dragons. Yeah, it's a neutralized.
Yes, 1762. It is a safe
Mhm.
SCP that has been neutralized, and it is a very sad story.
It is just such a sad story.
Basically, actually, Monkey, you describe it.
So Here Be Dragon, if I remember correctly, was like a dream of a little of children's that wanted dragons. So as long as people believed in them, they were alive and they were grand and majestic, and with a big palace, everything was beautiful. But as time went on, people started to believe less and less in them, making that palace smaller and the dragons shrink.
I thought
At
it
the
was
time-
because there was a war.
Might be. It's been a while since I listened to it.
All right. I listened to it literally less than 5 days ago about this story.
Also, if anyone
Is it-
wants to read it, I do have it up on screen.
You honestly helped me out with the imagination thing, because I actually had no idea how the box was actually formed and made. Because where my source said that it was found on an SCP scientist's doorstep, and that's when they brought it in for testing, and they found out that there be dragons, where there were dragons.
Here Be Dragon is the name of the actual SCP.
Yes. Well, technically it's 1762, but yeah.
Yeah, but the
Yeah.
name that
It-
accompanies it.
It
Codename
used to
Here
be
Be
Here Be Dragons. It is now There Were Dragons.
Yep.
Oh, they died.
Because they all died, it changed.
Yeah, due to I guess there was this war about the world needed more expansion, and whoever the previous owner was had promised the expansion to all the people, things in the land, and the dragons ruled over it. All right, with the person that created it, essentially. And when the SCP Foundation had like gathered it, they slowly had to watch as the creator would never come back, and there became conflict because what do they call them? I don't remember. Whoever the chosen one, I guess, is.
The Giants. Is that what you're talking about?
No, the Giants.
Oh, they just called them the Others.
Yeah, alright.
It says right here, the Others are growing impatient, and it says Others with a capital O.
Yeah, but like the Giants are
Us, I believe.
No. Those are also the people in the fantasy.
Oh right, the Giants and the Behemoths have kept their word, did not cause any trouble since the last time and gave the order. Basically, what it's saying here is that a war happened, though.
Yeah, the conflict was strong. Many people, many of the monsters and things had fought, and there became a huge war. And every single time they left the box to send a message, there were usually like a whole bunch of dragons that would fly out, and the more and more they came out, and the more and more the conflict became like deeper and deeper, the less of the dragons would show up.
And also, this entire time they were looking for quote unquote the family in our world.
Yeah, those who created them.
But we don't know who created them.
Yeah,
We don't know.
Yeah, basically the creators.
And the image of a paper dragon that you see at the top of the file is what they look like. They look like today.
Yep, they showed up in the SCP Foundation as paper origami dragons.
Mm-hmm.
And as
and right here's the description of them.
Yeah.
I'll zoom in so you can see it a bit better. This line right here. I'll keep it highlighted while you finish explaining.
And so the battle got so bad that they decided that they could not return and send any more messages. They must destroy the world that the creators had created to create a new world. Alright, so they end up burning the box from inside. That was like their world in a way. And so then it was kept in, I forgot whose office.
Takanado.
Akhenaten.
Takanado.
The Takanado, my bad.
Yeah, sorry, I'm reading it on the wiki, that's why I know.
Yeah, the box ends up reforming, and it says, here were dragons, and it gives out a gemstone,
Amethyst,
and an amethyst and a book, and the book was the book
contains detailing various species that lived in the world, and it is classified as this. And again, if you click this link, it leads you to a whole ass other wiki page of just describing the monsters that lived inside this world, or the races, I should say, if it loads.
Exactly. So this is a whole different world.
It's not loading for some reason, but
good. Yeah, that's how much it is.
Oh, maybe, yeah. It's called Beasts of the Old Letters. Beasts of the Old Letters.
Yep.
Again, I'll post the link in chat really quick so you guys can see what it says if you can't read it on screen.
I loved it so much. It was such a heart. It's like such a heart-tugging story about how a war, how like conflict destroyed this world from within, and nobody could do anything but just sit there and watch as a world died before them.
I wonder if they put the ashes in 914 and put it on like fine or very fine, if it would go back to being the world.
I doubt it.
Probably not, but it would be an interesting read.
Yeah, I am curious about that.
914 is called The Clockworks. Just to lighten the mood a bit, instead of talking about dead dragons, it is a giant machine with an input and an output. You put something on the input, and then you set it to either rough, coarse, 1-to-1, fine, or very fine. And then the machine will, you click the button or whatever, the dial, whatever it was, the doors close, you hear some whirling, and then a ding, and the doors open, and then on the output is something different. For example, in the game, at the very least, if you put in a severed hand of a white person and set it to 1-to-1, the other side will be a severed hand of a black person. If you were to put the night vision goggles in there, set it to fine or very fine, they would turn into infrared goggles with infinite battery. Just some examples.
Yep. And we can tangent from like 914 to SCP what's her name? I think it's 085.
085.
That sounds familiar. Those digits are familiar. Why are they familiar?
SCP-085. A human created.
Oh,
SCP.
hold on a minute.
Living drawings.
Yep.
I believe
yeah.
I have heard
So,
of this
the
one.
thing- So let's go back to for a minute about the unkillable lizard thing. Yes.
682.
Yep,
Okay,
682.
what if they put something into the 914 to make something that could kill it?
The problem is 914, whatever one we were just talking about.
Yeah.
That one.
Clockwork.
Yeah, the clockwork. It wouldn't really work that way because, to give you an example of how 914 works, it doesn't always have beneficial effects. So if you put a gun inside and then set it to very fine, it would give you like a futuristic gun, but it wouldn't have any ammo. And there'd be no way to create ammo for it because it's so futuristic.
Yeah, there's always a
drawback.
Here's something good, but
Yeah.
like it's the genie effect, you know.
Well, the
monkey's
only way they
paw.
have found to hurt enough 682 to that might kill it is using the coffee machine SCP, because they didn't put it like anti-682 liquid or something along those lines, and it worked, and they just need a way, because you SCP-682 is based in a gigantic room of acid. Filling that worth of anti-682 liquid is gonna take ages. Last I heard about it, they were trying to figure out a way to manufacture it.
So 085.
Yep, 085. But I love 085 as Cassie is literally the definition of a mood, and then turns into an existential crisis.
Yeah, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but basically it's a living drawing that is like, hey, you made me, you can make me other things, right? And then...
Nope, she actually, fun little thing is, when Cassie first came out, she didn't know that she was a drawing.
Ah.
Yes, the SCP Foundation told her that she was the last survivor of a nuclear war and that she must find other people. All right, and until a sloppy scientist, she has a power where she's able to like jump from pages to pages, right? A sloppy scientist accidentally left her file case right next to and she ended up jumping in the file case and reading the truth about her, and she ends up having a huge existential crisis. But as she so longly then has been recovering from, she loves cars, basically she's able to turn inanimate objects animate, but she's not able to turn other people into animate. So she can't. So she's like destined to be on her own because it was an experiment between I think SCP-094 and SCP-914 or something like that. I think it shows somewhere in the wiki that she was an experiment between a D class member that was using a pen that like lets him draw like whatever, or like what he is feeling. I think that's what the SCP did.
I don't see that anywhere on the sheet, but it's possible it's somewhere else.
Look up. Can you scroll up? To like the top of it.
I am.
SCP-067.
Oh, I see. It's a pale green in color with a single red line going right down this. Research has surmised that it loses all anatomy of the hand. What the fuck? I've never heard of this SCP, by the way, so I'm giving it a quick look over. And I'm not seeing anything about feelings. Maybe if I Control F it. Despite being instructed to not draw or write, subjects describe feelings of empathy, admiration, and cooperation with SCP-067 that coerces them toward a will of their own. So basically, it forces them to draw.
Yeah.
It doesn't actually force them to draw their emotions, though, it doesn't look like. It's just forcing them to draw something. It looks like it also can tell the future.
Yep.
That's interesting.
Not all SCPs are harmful or trying to kill things.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Apparently it makes writings reality is what it does. It looks like.
Yep, and any like attempt to try and replicate Cassie has failed. So she is literally one of a kind.
Mm-hmm.
And she's destined to be forever lonely.
Which is interesting. Because, like, why couldn't you just... Well, I guess you can't make another person, yeah.
They tried. It didn't work.
Okay.
Yeah, it's. I guess it was just another weird anomaly.
What is 914? Do you guys know that one?
914 is a clockwork.
Oh, it is.
Yep.
Oh,
it was set to fine or ultra fine. I can't remember which one.
Oh, that's how she was created.
Yep. She was just a still picture until 914 gave her life.
That is fucked up. That's interesting, but fucked up.
Yep.
So, if I've heard this entire thing right, 067 is a pen that can bring things to life, kind of?
I believe so. Well, no. So the way it works is it forces people to write things, and it'll, like, write, like, about a car crash, and then the person writing will actually start to, like, die from the car crash, or, like, feel the symptoms as if they were in the car crash.
Or they could draw like a motorcycle, and like sometimes there'll be times where like a week later, say, like, oh, they get a motorcycle or something. Like it can also give you your future as well.
Mm-hmm.
So just hear me out on this one. What if the reason they cannot create another Cassie is because they are trying to create one? What if the trick to creating one is not trying to create it?
Well, that completely depends on 714, I believe. Or no, not 714. What's the number? 914? 914.
914.
Because like I said, the way 914 works is that it's basically a monkey's paw. So you can never predict what it's gonna do. Unless you're playing a video game, of course.
Yeah, then you can turn those key cards black.
And then you can get MasterCards, you mean?
Yep. Alright.
So, Monkey, I think we should go back to having you describe something else now besides just looking at specific SCPs.
Oh, I was gonna talk about my favorite SCP.
Oh, go ahead and do that first then. Yeah, give me the number.
Alright, there's actually two. I am very like tacky, where my the obvious one is 999.
Oh my god, yes,
SCP
999.
999 will is like it's tied for one of my favorites on.
Oh, 999. I know 999 now. Yeah.
And also my
Just
other
like it.
favorite is SCP-053 as well. Which is almost like the exact opposite of 999 in a way.
Oh, 053 is the little girl.
Yeah.
What is her power again?
When you get closer, you want to murder her.
Oh.
She induces violent rage that will want to make you murder everybody around you, and then want to make you murder her as well.
Okay. And SCP-999 is basically the exact opposite. It makes anyone it touches extremely happy.
Exactly, and it's been told to be able to cure depression.
Yeah.
But
in minutes.
If you try to kill 093, you're gonna die from a heart attack.
Yep. So she basically light
053?
Yagamis you.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and she's also completely unaware of anything. She goes into a complete daze when this happens.
Interesting.
Yeah, she also best friend with 682.
Yeah.
Yep. She's the only one to draw and ride on 682, I believe.
Mm-hmm. And 999 also loves 682.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Actually, no.
Well, it doesn't
999
love
and
it, but it tolerates it.
999 and 053, both were the two SCPs that were able to maintain
Prolonged exposure.
Yeah, prolonged
Get off.
exposure to 682.
Did you know the origins of 999?
Yes, the Scarlet King, that leads into my theory about 053. If 999
Who's the Scarlet King?
is able to maintain exposure to 653 to 683, I mean 682, excuse me. Then and so can 053 basically makes 05 makes 682 completely docile. I believe this is just like a random thought, was maybe 053 might be one of the 7 kids of the Scarlet King.
I know nothing about the Scarlet King, neither does Karma.
Ooh. Oh, I can talk about that. I know a lot about this.
What the hell is
So,
the Scarlet King?
The
Sounds
Scarlet King
important.
is an entity and like a
Does it have an
SC
SCP
class
number?
end of the world's SC. Yes.
Which number?
It's one of the many SCPs 01. So just
Yeah.
search
Oh, it's a
Scarlet King.
001.
Yes, it is. AKA known as the World Ender.
So the Scarlet King is the origin of many SCPs, and he also had 7 wives that were chosen from a cult that was dedicated to him, and these wives were all pregnant.
Yep.
They were
and they're
called,
SCP-231.
and they are known as SCP-231, the 7 brides, and every single one time that one of
Oh.
them gives
Well,
birth, a bigger
Vessels.
cataclysm happens in the world.
I'm not clicking on this link because I don't know what's on this page.
And then
And like everyone in the SCP Foundation thinks that the 7th bride is still being like kept from giving birth by procedure 110 Montauk.
No.
Yes.
Really?
Yes,
Because
everyone thinks that because they're still doing procedure 110 Montauk.
But the one thing that gets me, like, because I've been hearing things of SCP-999 is the child of the 7th.
Is this the child?
Yeah.
But no one knows that. The whole thing is just an SCP. They don't know it's the child of Scarlet King, because it is firmly believed that in the SCP Foundation that if the 7th bride gives birth, it's gonna bring in a next K class end of the world scenario.
Oh, I thought it was that once she died, the Scarlet King would be free to actually come in, come into our world, which would then trigger the SK class.
Are you guys referring to the SCP who can't fit through the door?
No.
Okay, that must be a different one then.
But I've also, most of my sources are through like stories, like some threads, mostly YouTube videos as well that I see. So I've heard from a theories that once once 231-7 dies, that the Scarlet King will then be free to roam the earth, because every other 231 had died when they gave birth, except for 231-7, because that was 999 who helped heal her after the birth, and after some, I guess, brainwashing and stuff, she's able to return into human society. That was like a whole, thing. So nobody actually knows the SCPs that were birthed from the 231, but I believe they think that 682 is 231-4's child, and 999 is 231-7. I think that
well, the 7th one is
053
confirmed.
Yeah, the 7th one is confirmed. I think that SCP 231 I believe 2 is 053.
So what your theory is, if I'm getting this right, is that they get along with 682 because they're somehow related.
Exactly.
Because they come from the same dad.
Yep, they're the only ones to actually not only like maintain, but also either completely incapacitate or docile the most like hatred-filled monster in the SCP Foundation.
I mean, I could see that. Would make sense somehow.
Like when the 5th bride gave birth, an entire site was obliterated.
I know nothing about this SCP except for what we were just talking about, so...
Wait, you're talking about
I'm
231?
I'm in the same thing as
Yeah.
you, Raven.
Yeah.
Like when the 5th one gave birth, and that site 231 Aleph was destroyed.
Yep. As long as Site 19 is not destroyed, we're fine.
If when you're a researcher for the SCP Foundation and you receive a thing saying, yeah, you're now associated Site 19, you're like, well, fuck.
Yeah, Site 19 is kind of
Site 19.
If you get assigned Site 19 GG, bro. You lived a good life.
If you survive Site 19, you're a fucking hard ass.
Which
'Cause,
one
like,
is Site 19?
Site 19 is the biggest SCP site in the world, and it contains like the sculpture, the shy guy, the 0949. Every single like retardedly bad SCP is contained there.
But you forgot about
It
Mr.
also-
Bright.
It also contains the unknown door. What was that door called?
Oh yeah, the door that leads to a sleeping SCP.
Yeah, not a sleeping, a chained SCP.
Like the chain. Well, it's asleep, still asleep, but it's chained.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
And
Yeah,
there's
hold on,
one
I have another
fucking chain
question.
left.
There's
And
Currently,
it's
one chain left, dude.
as far as common knowledge goes, how many world-class scenarios are there?
Oh, there's so many. Like they have God in one of these like
yeah, they have
They have
God
God in multiple.
contained somewhere.
They have gotten
Yeah,
multiple guys. Come on.
Should
I
we
think-
talk about the different organizations in that world? Because there are some fun ones.
Well, there's only 3, I thought.
Oh no, there's a whole fucking list of them.
oh no,
Like
there's
the main
like,
ones you'll hear about are the Chaos Insurgency, the Global Occult Coalition, as in the Serpent's Hand. But if I go to the list
you
I
also
found,
need to like think about the like the groups created by the occults as well.
yeah, like the
from-
Church of the Broken God or the Church of the Thing Heighted.
Dr.
And the
Wondertainment.
Cthulhu as well.
The what?
Cthulhu.
Oh yeah.
The I can't remember what,
I don't know
what
what
it
you
was
guys are
called.
talking about.
There's like I really like the like Church of the Broken God and Church of the Second Heighted are really interesting to me. So the Church of the Broken God are basic like believe in mechanization and believe that flesh and life is inherently evil and broken. And they basically follow like the
Well,
the
by
will
the
of a
way-
broken mechanical god.
I was talking about SCP-2662. If you wanna get that. It,
Wait, there's a group at the SCP Foundation called Gamers Against Weed.
I believe it. It's probably a joke SCP about 420.
No, it's an organization.
It's probably about 420J though.
Can we talk about the Serpent's Hand afterwards? They're really
Oh,
interesting.
the Serpent's Hand.
Yeah, it's a really interesting group.
Yeah.
Well, we are past an hour now, so let's talk about the Serpent's Hand and maybe like one more thing.
Oh, we have enough stuff to make it to 2 hours. Don't worry.
Yeah. Like listen, when I tell you, there's a literal like one where a girl can go in to like different timelines of herself and create like and created her own organization through like those like using her own timeline. Like
That's the Serpent's Hand.
yeah, Serpent's Hand. Isn't that the one that can creates the library?
Yeah, their main headquarters is a library, and they basically they firmly believe that the world needs to know about anomalies and SCPs,
Yeah.
but they don't know about the risk that would entail.
Oh, dude, I
The-
heard like such a good like such a crazy theory about like the Serpent's Hand and like the leader of like Serpent's Hand when like they was like all of them are the child of like this scientist, right?
Yeah, yeah, I know.
Except for and they theorize that except for one, which is the
Serpent.
son the child of the Scarlet King,
The
like
Serpent.
the which would then be a good way for the Serpent King to actually breach the real world, which I was like that makes weirdly enough sense, but not enough to like for me to like fully bite. and I thought it was just a really cool theory.
Hang on, what is SCP-2662?
Alright, so 2662 is a Kelter class anomaly known as Cthulhu. Alright? Basically, unbeknownst to his will, he sends telepathic waves, and it basically goes into people's minds and infects them to want to make an occult to try and worship him.
But he doesn't give a shit. He's just like a.
So
Yeah, he just wants
I
to play
heard
gamer.
Minecraft.
something.
He just want to fucking play video games.
He's just a gamer.
Why?
Dude.
Why would it be Why would it be not good for the world to learn of SCPs?
Oh, dude, do you know how much of a state of panic the world would be in?
Not only that, imagine armies. Imagine like the U.S.
I don't know
Imagine
anything about it.
getting
so
like
no, I
their
don't.
hand on any
Right.
SCPs.
No, let me put out a scenario for you, Karma. There is an SCP that is an alarm clock that if it is not turned off every day at 7 a.m., I think it is, it will continuously get louder and louder and louder to the point where it will literally destroy the universe.
Yep.
If there is someone trying to break into the facility to steal it, imagine the ramifications of this.
Yeah, I can
Imagine
see
the
how that would be bad.
ramifications if somebody knew that there was a pool of blood that would summon monsters
In Russia.
in Russia. Imagine if somebody figured out that there is little nothingness right next to Russia.
Imagine if someone actually recognized the bodies in the water.
Ooh. Oof.
Oof.
That's an SCP meme, by the way.
I didn't get it.
There's an SCP, basically you don't want to recognize the bodies in the water. It, like, makes you... I forget the exact effect. I think it makes you drown yourself and then turn into a giant monster.
Pretty sure. Basically, there's some stuff that it's just better for people not to know about.
Which also, it's worth noting that some civilians do know about SCPs.
Yeah,
Though they don't know
because-
that they're called SCPs, though.
Actually, there's the one SCP that keeps on leaking information about SCPs.
I don't know that one.
Gosh, I'm trying to remember what it was called. It's a 001 SCP.
Really quick, I want you guys, for those of you who want to get into SCP but don't know where to start, I highly recommend two things. One, the SCP video game that we were talking about called Containment Breach. That is like the most popular SCP thing around. I'd say even more popular than SCPs themselves is the game. And then Lord Bung has a YouTube series called Confinement. There's a 15-episode playlist currently that I highly recommend. It is very good, and it also includes some songs as well as an overall narrative that is similar to Containment Breach's narrative, but in a completely different sense.
I've got most of my information from the YouTube channel SCP Explained.
And then Monkey, what was the YouTube channel? Dr. Bob, right?
Dr. Bob goes into more like unknown SCPs. Also, can we go over Dr. Bright?
Yeah, I was
Dr.
just about to
Bright.
say that's like one of the other things I want to talk about here. Not Dr. Bright himself, but actually I want to talk about the things Dr. Bright is not allowed to do at the Foundation.
I have the list right before my eyes.
I also
There's
have it up on stream.
287 articles in that list.
Yep.
I like the first one. Dr. Bright is not allowed to feed anything with peanut butter to Kane.
Uh, 280. Dr. Bright is not allowed to tell new Foundation recruits fictional horror stories involving his family. 281. Dr. Bright is not allowed to tell new Foundation recruits factual horror stories involving his family.
Telling your researcher that you can tame SCP-682 with a rolled up newspaper and a tummy rub is right out.
I love that one.
Dr. Bright is not allowed to commit seppuku, even if he has an audience, especially a captive one. Okay, so we should probably explain Dr. Bright really quick.
Yes.
Oh. Oh no.
We're
You
about
want to
to
try and
break
explain
karma.
them? You want to try and explain it? I'm not.
I'll explain it really
I
easily.
will.
I'll take a
Okay.
simple version, thank you.
Alright, he's
Oh, boy.
immortal.
His soul is in the amulet he wears. So Dr. Bright was a normal researcher.
Yes.
But one day during a containment breach, he was killed while transporting an amulet SCP. That SCP stored Dr. Bright's soul in it. So anyone that wears the SCP, their soul is erased from their body and is replaced by Dr. Bright. And if Dr. Bright stays in someone's body more than 30 days, a copy of Dr. Bright's soul will stay in that body. Why is everyone quiet?
No, I was listening to you.
I was listening to you and I was looking at some of the other examples and highlighting them for people.
You have a question, Karma?
I'm looking at the thing while listening to you.
SCP-001
just-
is not Dr. Bright's penis.
So Dr. Bright is like renowned in the SCP Foundation because of that fact. Like when he appears, sometimes he's a woman, sometimes he's a man, sometimes he's different ethnicities.
Oh no!
He's really interesting.
Dr. Bright may not put a cup of orgasm from SCP-294 through SCP-914 on the very fine setting. And then there's 4 footnotes to this rule.
Yeah.
Please read them out.
Dr. Bright may not use 294 to create a cup of mimetic orgasm and use it on worldwide television. Dr. Bright is not permitted to use 294 to create orgasms of any kind, mimetic, sentient, or otherwise. Given the results of requesting a cup of Dear God No, Dr. Bright is no longer allowed to use 294 directly or outside of approved testing.
What the fuck is a cup of Dear God
What?
No?
Given that he asked another staff member to request a cup of explodium from SCP-294 to see what would happen, Dr. Bright is not allowed to ask other staff members to access SCPs for him, no matter how instructive, funny, or helpful the results would be. The only exception to that is SCP-293.
I feel like Dr. Bright is just like the guy that the SCP's prediction is stuck with, and he knows that, so he's basically the lit of the SCP Foundation. Where like he's got so much stay power that they can't do fucking anything about it. So he can do whatever the fuck he wants.
If you
and
want to,
they just keep putting rules.
yeah, if you want to know more about Dr. Bright, look up 963. This is the amulet that Dr. Bright is attached to.
Dr. Bright is not allowed to bargain with personal for your souls, not even if he can get them a good deal.
There's a psychological evaluation by Dr. Glass of Dr. Bright.
Oh god. Oh dear lord.
You can only imagine what the hell this Dr. Bright does to have so many rules.
Be
he's an
immortal, that's the
SCP.
main thing. He's an SCP, basically, yeah.
SCP-343.
343?
Mm-hmm.
Is it the one I just said? I don't remember. No, it's not. What is SCP-343?
I think that's his number.
Oh, it,
SCP-082 is not to be given song request, especially not like a virgin.
I'm sorry. 343 is the SCP known as God.
Yes.
Yep.
He is not Dr. Bright.
Alright.
That is a tale, I believe.
Fun fact: God, the God SCP, actual
All
God,
staff question
can't-
about the document convey ignorance of document 3431A and claim not to have met Dr. Censored, redacted, in related manner.
I have one. Rule number 82. Just because Bright is a doctor does not mean he is the doctor, no matter how many British men he possesses.
I like that reference.
No, SCP-963 is not proof against this. 2. Nor is any structure that results from placing 0184 inside of a police phone box. 3. Adopting female members of the staff and calling them companions is right out. 4. SCP-297 is not a sonic screwdriver. 5.
I love this.
The Doctor Who.
I fucking love this. I love this Doctor Who reference.
Dude, the Doctor Who reference is amazing.
SCP-297 is actually a sonic screwdriver, though.
Yes.
Just putting that out there.
I like SCP-297 is a transparent plastic vibrator.
Yes.
That's how it starts.
Steely Dan.
Oh, God. Number 71. Despite his doctoral degree, Dr. Bright is not allowed to either prescribe or administer any of the following. Number 1. Enemas. Number 2. Homeopathic remedies.
Oh my god.
3. Any sort of medication. 4. Free hugs. 5. The healing power of laughter. 6. Sexual healing. And 7. More cowbell.
No, Doctor is not allowed to offer the solution. Use more guns to any problem.
Yeah. Or get bigger guns.
He sounds American. There are no security codes for zombie
Dr.
conga line,
Bright
badass
is
hat, vampire can, disco corpse, intense homo erotism, extreme crotch violence, man disguised as a palm tree, man with porn stash, kung fu rasta, puppy eating monks, justifiable homicide of all your dumbass mother humpers. Bright family reunion.
I have a lot here to read, but my favorite is probably 68. A full minute of stunned silence means, what god? My god, what did you do? Not please continue. And then number 66 is a little long, so I'll only read 2 of them. The Foundation motto is secure, contain, protect. Not any of the following. Throw the cheese. Can we put it in 914? Blood makes the grass grow, kill, kill, kill. Fuck trees, I climb clouds, motherfucker.
Yeah.
If all else fails, poop on it. We
makes
need bigger kittens.
Society of creepy perverts?
Society of creepy perverts. I like this one. Throw D-class at it until it stops.
I mean,
True.
that's a fair way to put it.
When in doubt, feed it to
Bunch of
682.
fancies.
Seduction, coitus, and pregnancy.
Will it blend?
SCP. Commies love us.
Seduction, coitus, and pregnancy.
Yep.
This doctor. Oh, God.
59. Yes, forum trolls are annoying. No, they don't automatically become D-class personnel.
not allowed to lace orgasm muffins with X-Lex again.
Again.
What the fuck
How
is
the-
that?
how- why
What
the hell
is an
did you do it
orgasm
the first
muffin?
time?
What is X-Lax and why again?
What the hell?
What the hell happened the first time?
Number 43. Dr. Bright is not allowed to utter the phrase more than 1,000 babies in the presence of any SCP personnel.
I fucking wonder what led to that.
Dr. Bright is not from an alternate timeline. Dr. Bright cannot issue orders to preserve the timeline, or to corrupt the timeline, or to screw with those history nerds.
Number 30, there is no ethics committee. And even if there was, does anyone believe Dr. Bright would be on it?
Oh
As
my
in-
god.
As anything other than what not to do. What is it, Raven?
Number 34. Dr. Bright is not allowed to challenge anyone to a duel and then give them SCP-572. SCP-572 is a gun that gives you suicidal tendencies.
Oh god!
Alright, I think we're done here with these.
Wait, that's one. 22. Because 22 was fucking redacted by an 05 member of the 05 Council.
42?
22. Data redacted on 05 request, not even for recreational use. What the fuck was written on there for the 05 Council to get involved in it? The fucking 05 Council, the most powerful people in the world. Not allowed
So
to
I'm
end reports
guessing
with
this
lyrics from the
Dr.
fresh.
Bright done
Oh.
at least one of these things once, went horribly wrong or horribly funny. Now he cannot do
Horribly
them
wrong.
again.
Have you guys read number 11 yet? There is no
No.
market for SCP brand pornography. Side note, 1. No, not even in Germany. Which is just wrong. There is a ton. Have you seen the SCP porn?
Yes, there is.
Oh my god, Dr.
Badly.
Clef, Dr. Alto Clef, he's a fucking maniac.
God, I hate this. I hate that I can say I have.
So, like, the thing that I want to know is what would happen if the possessive mask came into contact with someone like Dr. Bright.
They would just remove the amulet and put.
Yeah,
That,
unfortunate.
I was that's why I kind of like
It would
the
remove
two
it and make it-
SCPs that I
make
do
another
like,
rule.
because I always wondered what would happen if 999 came into contact with 053.
Can you please 053? Because 053 refers to the third 05 member of the 05 Council.
Oh, 053, excuse me.
It's okay.
We do not talk about this picture.
Nice.
Oh. Guinea pig, Dr. Bright.
Yep. Yes, Spiff. Anyone else can do these things. Only Dr. Bright can't. Because a lot of them involve you having to be immortal in order for you to be able to do them.
Should we talk about the different mobile task forces? Because they're really interesting.
That's up to you, my friend.
How much do you know about mobile task forces, K-Dot?
Very loosely.
So, mobile task forces are a unit made of personnel drawn from all across the SCP Foundation that are specialized for one single purpose. Except Samsara, but Samsara is I'm gonna get into it at the end, because Samsara is just fucking OP.
Oh yeah, Samsara, I've heard that.
So mobile task forces are groups of already trained SCP soldiers that are meant to contain specific kinds of SCP. For example, the SCP MTF Phi 2, aka Clever Girl, a task force that specializes in containing prehistoric type SCPs, mainly dinosaur SCPs. or when we find the fucking list, where is it? The city slickers that specialize in checking cities for for SCPs, or the bookworms that specialize in the library that the Serpent's hand operates out of.
Yeah.
There's so many of them, and they all specialize in something. It's so interesting. Plague tamers. They specialize in microbiological, biochemical, or pathogenic anomalies. Like there's so many of them, and they all are like Skynet, which is like for any cyber anomaly.
Wait, there's an SCP that changes your gender.
Yes.
Let's go, boys.
There's
Now we can all finger ourselves.
Yeah. Why'd you have to say that?
SCP 5094. We need this. We need this.
SCP-113, boys.
MTF ETA 4 Begone Tot. What is this? See, Mobile Task Force ETA 4 is a unit of intelligent SCP-4335 affected seabirds. ETA 4 specializes in information collection, analysis, complete field research, and support, and in extreme cases, airborne combat. The task force was ultimately charged with protecting humanity after BE class migration and of consciousness scenario. Why Begone Todd though?
Be gone, thought.
Todd? So about Samsara. Samsara is the most OP task force in the SCP universe. Using Samsara to like capture an SCP is like using a fucking 50 cal to kill a fly, or like use a 50 cal to kill a pigeon. It works, but it's overkill. Because SCP, the MTF TAU5 or Samsara, are immortal cyborg clones created from the flesh of a dead god. They utilize esoterical and experimental Foundation weaponry to investigate and contain highly dangerous SCPs. So they're cyborgs mixed in with like DNA from the dead god, and they are insanely powerful. Because if they die, they can just be rebuilt.
All right. Can we please talk about something really weird to me? I just remembered it. All right, and I want to say this before I forget. SCP-4335.
4325.
335. 4335.
4335.
Minecraft?
Oh yeah.
There's an SCP in Minecraft.
Why can't I read the file on it? Oh, wait, there it is. Minecraft.
There's a whole SCP in Minecraft.
Yes.
And they contain it in Minecraft.
Where's the world download?
It's a secure server, so they.
Damn it.
Yeah. It's.
Oh, did you guys know? Oh wait, check it out. Go on.
I know. Go. Yeah.
I was about to say, y'all know there's like 5 levels at the Foundation, right?
Yeah.
There's a 6th level. Level 6 is an SCP so fucking dangerous that only 105 knows about it. Only one of the 1205 council members knows about
You
that.
mean 13 of the
of the 13. Well, only one of the 13 of them knows about it because it's so fucking dangerous.
Oh, dude, I love the 13th 05 council member.
I think the dad of Dr. Bright was an 05 council member, and in some version of the story, he was killed by the 05 council for trying to like get the SCP designation off his 3 childs technically, because his 3 kids are SCPs. And in another story, he's one of the few 05 members to actually retire from his post.
Like
Maybe the
the
only one.
the 13th O5 member is the only reason he's an O5 member is because he's an anomaly by not being an anomaly.
Wait. Develop.
What?
All right, he's normal, and he's so normal that that since everybody else is an anomaly in the O5 council, he is now an anomaly.
Wait, I didn't know the O5 were anomalies.
I'm pretty sure everything about them is like, it's in mystery. It's like 001.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're the only ones that know about the end of the universe and whatnot. So they have they have to have some type of anomalistic abilities to not only
You
survive.
can
that,
know
but
stuff
also-
about wait. There's a file. I found a file on the SCP wiki.wiki.com about every single of the 1305 members are described.
Right. SCP Containment Breach Ultimate. I believe that is what it's called. Yes, last updated June 5th, 2021. That sounds about right.
So is there a leader to this O5 council?
No, the O5 Council is kind of like the Senate in the United States. There is no leader. They're all the leader.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Well, there is like
How
a
come only
supposed
one of them can know
leader.
about this?
There
What
is-
about the one that is the only one who can know about this one thing?
There's just a level. It's just another thing. But like it basically works. There's 13 of them, so there's not they vote on stuff, and 13, so there will never be any like ties.
Yep, that's why there's 13.
At this point, by the way, I'm just downloading and I'm gonna play the game on stream because we're gonna be here for another like 30 minutes.
I found information on the O5. I'm gonna read the shit out of that. They'll have titles: O51, the founder; O52, the gardener; O53, the kid or the all-seeing eye;
Hydra IP when you go in.
Hide my IP.
054.
What do you mean?
the ambassador;
Like I mean the server, excuse me.
055,
I don't know what you're
blackbird;
talking about.
056, cowboy or the American; 057, green; 058, the newbie or the lesser; 059, the outsider or the ordinary. That's probably the one you were talking about.
Yep.
Okay, 0510, the archivist; 0511, the mailman; 0512, the accountant; and 0513, the tiebreaker. O513 does not exist. Everyone outside of the O5 council is told that he exists, and memos are created under O513's name. But O513 exists only as a tiebreaker vote. O513's vote is rotated between each O5 council member, starting at 1 and passed up a number each time a tiebreaker vote is required and used. Holding O513's vote is required to access a few selected database. This knowledge may be attached to O513's vote and wiped from the holder's memory when the vote is passed on, or it may simply comprise access to 13's unique database. Interesting.
So then the 13th member exists and doesn't exist at the same time?
Exactly.
O513 is just a vote, an extra vote passed around.
Yep.
To break ties.
So it could be any normal person?
Any
just like
any
they pick a guy
any
up
of the 12 actual members.
Yep.
And
so
every time there's a
time
tiebreaker,
it goes up the chain of command. So say there's a first tie, then number 1 would get the extra vote. Another tie, then number 2 would get the extra vote. Another tie, number 3 would then get the extra vote. Another tie, 4 would get the extra vote. So, yeah.
Yo, Kid, do you want the link to this?
When there's a tie,
Yeah,
they
sure.
go to a
This is
random.
really
They
interesting.
go to a random person off the street, kidnap him, make him vote, wipe his memory, then send him back to his life.
Possibly. And we'll see
That
if
would
this
make the
fixed
most
it.
sense.
The 5 command dossier.
I like that there are contradictory reports on each of the 05 members. So there are reports, but we don't know which one if they're true or not. It's basically like if it's rumors heard around the foundation. I fucking love this. Yeah. I'm figuring out about this. I've never found information on the 05. Actually, there is like one supposed rumor of a guy above the 05. Wait. SCP. God.
I thought there was something back here. Okay. Hey, it's the bear. Hey, teddy bear. You guys like talking? Why aren't you guys talking?
I'm sorry. I was reading
I don't have
this.
anything to say.
God damn it.
All right.
I'm dead.
You're dead?
I'm
Yep, he
dead
took an
already.
L.
I took an L.
He took a fat L.
I just don't have anything to say.
All right. Security system.
We can also talk about sites and areas. But
Yeah.
Need to find the file. Oh, there it is. Because areas are highly fucking secured areas. Like places.
Oh.
Yeah, and somehow these occult members still find a way to get in.
I mean, 3 anomalous sisters took control of Area 37 and made it into like their own like anomalous dimension place where they can torture people.
Yeah, but that happened. But what's it called? A completely different SCP did the same exact thing. Hold on. I gotta remember what his name was.
So, is it even possible to kill SCPs?
Oh yeah.
It depends on
yeah.
the SCP.
Okay.
I'm gonna go get a fucking glass of water. I'm fucking dying.
Are you sure you had a glass of water before we started, boy? Boy?
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna hurry.
I'm gonna try to run past Teddy Bear this time and not die. Oh wait, he's not here this time. Augers.
I still don't. There's one. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. So, can we talk about SCP 3999?
Alright, I'm back.
What is 3999?
Basically, the center of everything that happens to you.
The Sin?
The center. he is his class his code name is I am at the center of everything that happens to me.
Right.
Right? And basically he controls a whole like facility by himself.
Got it.
Because what he does to these like to the people that he fixates on is redonkulous.
Redonkulous?
Yes. Oh, we're talking about 3999. By the way.
Oh. That's not good.
Do you guys know the story of the researcher that was the head of the of research for SCP-096, and what he did to get the and how he ended up getting the approval to find a way to kill it permanently?
For which SCP?
096.
096. Wait, which one was that?
Well, that kills you if you
The
look
shy
at
guy.
its face.
Shy guy.
So when some guy said like if shy guy like if the face of shy guy was leaked like on TV, it would be like a fucking worldwide disaster.
Yes, quite aware.
So he was like, he tried so hard to get the O5 Council to give him the right to kill him, to find a way to kill SCP-096.
Mm-hmm.
But they never did. And
No,
one
makes
time,
sense.
096 escaped because a guy was looking at a picture of an old hiking trip. He took a hike in the mountains where SCP-096 was discovered. 096 was a fucking pixel on the picture. A fucking pixel.
Just like how I died. I was a pixel too close.
But like, that pixel still had you still looked at it and like, the sun was looking at its face, its face wasn't covered at the moment. So, that 096 went in a rampage and ran in a straight line to that city. At that point, a mobile task force was dispatched in the city and was like, everyone cover your fucking heads or we're shooting. By the way, nice death. Very well timed. So, he showed up to the city, absolutely murdered the guy, and murdered many people that looked at him. But the doctor had found a way to rid goggles with a program called Scramble, where it would use drawings made of SCP-096's face, which drawings are okay. You can look at the drawing and you'll be fine. They would use drawing to censor. They would use those drawings to censor anything that looked like that drawing, so to censor the face. But he fucked the Scramble. He perfectly fucked the Scramble program over to have like 1 millisecond too slow. So like it was a huge slaughterhouse. And he did that just so that the O5 Council would give him permission to find a way to kill SCP-096. Of course, when the O5 Council found out, they told him, okay, you can find a way, but once you kill it, we're killing you afterwards.
Wow.
Wow.
So it seems like it would be really simple to kill it, though. I mean, it's a humanoid figure. But
yeah, about that. SCP-096 was shot with
Really
a 50
simple
cal
to kill
machine
it.
gun while running towards a target and never faltered.
Yeah, it's bulletproof.
It's not bulletproof. It's just like it won't stop.
It's bullet immune.
No, it will still be
Was it
pierced by the bullet.
talking
It just continues because it's It's just that
I wasn't
weird.
talking about bullets. I was talking about blowing it up, like
Oh no,
destroying it
missiles were shot at it
inside
before. It
out.
doesn't fucking work.
Really?
That thing's skeleton. The skin is not bulletproof. The skeleton is. That thing's skeleton is like insanely resilient.
Yes, it's sands.
And shoot it. And don't shoot it where the skeleton is, and it should die.
Yeah, but it regenerates. You need to make the skeleton like
If you wanna
how
kill
they
that thing,
finally
you're
killed
gonna
it.
have to trick it.
How they finally managed to kill it was by using an SCP to make the skeleton like extremely like frail and not sturdy. That they could like permanently kill it. Beyond that, it was impossible.
I mean, or you can just use Dr. Bright's approach. Feed it to 682.
They
682 won't kill it.
Yeah, 6 8.
Oh.
Technically, they actually brought
Well, they're even
Shy
matched.
Guy in. Yeah, they brought Shy Guy in to try and kill 682, but 682 kinda, you know.
They were both messed up at the end. They were both like standing in the corner, and like 682 was looking at it, and like 096 was fucking clawing at the walls.
So
Yep.
that didn't work. Okay.
And 17, and I think 172 or 176, right? The statue
173.
173. Excuse me.
682 was scared of 173.
No, I thought.
It depends which revision of 173 you're talking about. Because he's gone through multiple rewrites.
Yeah, I remember. Oh yeah, 682. Was the one that was screaming, "Get this thing out of here," or something like that. Uh-oh, you started blinking.
Did you guys hear about well, mainly K-Dot and Raven about so in one like SCP universe, the SCPs were leaked.
Hmm.
They
I've
were
not heard
leaked,
that.
and people knew about them.
Happened.
So like someone went to the house of a woman that was previously assigned to other SCPs, but that also did a bit of research on Suicide 96, and these people wanted the folders on the information the SCP she was working on before retiring.
Where's
She
313 when you need them? I mean, where's 131? Excuse me.
And instead she told him, "Go in my drawer. There's a like purple like document file." That document file were pictures of 096 that she took as a job in the SCP Foundation. And these guys were threatening her life. Like they actually actively shot her in the shoulder, leg. So she closed the fuck out of her eyes because there were pictures of its face, of the 096's face in there. These guys were murdered.
Oh, yeah, I see that being bad. I can see
Because
that
she basically used that SCP to save herself.
Wait.
And she,
Which SCP?
096, because she had a folder of pictures of 096,
096 is the statue.
the shy guy.
Oh,
the
shy
shy
guy.
guy.
Wow. Oh wait, he gets triggered from you looking at his picture.
At his face. If it's a picture, it also triggers him.
Wow,
Well,
I didn't actually know that.
I'm in a predicament, ladies and gentlemen.
What?
Whoa.
What is? Oh, hey, 939.
I don't remember this one's number.
Yeah, they what they do is they inhibit like an anomalous toxin that kind of messes with people's mind, so they can eat them easier.
No, wrong
And-
SCP.
No. This one is the one that's blind, but has really good hearing.
And it
Is it
mimics
that-
people's voices after they kill them.
That
Yeah.
one?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the number though.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. You're right. You're right.
How the fuck do you see me? Either way, I got trapped in a corner, by the way. You guys can continue talking while I try to get through this part.
What were we talking about?
I was
Well, I
talking
mean,
about
we're
that
approaching
time.
2 hours pretty quick.
Yeah, in 10 minutes. We were talking about that time when someone used a fucking like SCP-096 to save their asses. So they created like a. She started a containment breach because like she was retired at that point from the SCP Foundation, but still somehow had like the faces of the most dangerous pictures in the world because they were pictures of the face of 096. And she closed the shit out of her eyes and she just heard SCP-096 smash through her house to kill the guys that looked at his face. And just
He was fine because she didn't look at his face.
she knew it would. She closed the fuck out of her eyes before it arrived.
Yeah, she knew.
She was researching and worked on it on 096 before.
So yeah, so she would know what would make it kill her. So
Yeah.
she used that to her advantage.
Hey, how about the old man?
Oh, I wanted to talk about the old man, but I wasn't sure if you wanted to talk about the old man.
Oh, we're fucking talking about the old man. We have 10 minutes left. We're talking about the old man.
All right, hold on. Let me bring up his
I think like
106, the old
Yeah.
man.
I think like its containment area has like 30 meters thick walls or something along those lines, and he
Yeah.
still fucking like escapes.
Yes.
So like
Like no, like oh wow, this has 11 dash. Okay, so this had around 8 revisions. The procedures to like contain it.
I'm not surprised. Because it's just like it gets bored at some point and was like, yeah, I'm gonna breach containment. And then wreaks havoc.
All staff are to remain at least 60 meters away from the containment cell at all times, except in the event of breach events.
And you don't want to be assigned where that thing is.
Yeah. Must be taken in AR 2 maximum security sites. Remain at least 60 meters.
Site area does containment breach take place on? Do we know?
Side 19.
Wait, that's 19?
Side 19 for containment breach. That's what Kama was asking about.
Oh, for containment breach, yeah, I think it is at 19. That the game was on?
Yep.
Because it also has the camera as well.
And it has 049, which is a house inside 19. And it's said that it's side 19.
Yep, 049.
Have we talked about site scenarios and like everything in between?
Oh, I think so.
So a site is basically like a covered facility in like a government or a corporate on a corporate or governmental front. So they're closer to cities because they would camouflage better. Areas are clandestine facilities that civil don't know about and that are like at the most remote areas, places on the planet. Like an area often has like an on-site nuclear warhead ready to blow up at all times if need be.
Why am I dying?
I don't know. Because they contain. If you're at. You think it's bad if you're like if you are like going to have to work at a site, if you are affected to an area, good fucking luck.
Like the thing is, this thing is like it has the skills to escape as well as God does, but he is actually going. He's actually Kelter. Uh,
Yeah, he's
Keter,
Keter class.
he's Keter class, so he will kill. God will.
I found another bear.
Good. Hug it.
I can't get close. Behind the wall.
The old man is really fascinating though, cause like he's one of the most popular SCPs.
Really?
He's really popular.
I didn't even think he was that super popular. I know, like before I got into SCPs, I knew about Plague Doctor, Peanut, and what's it called? And the one that has like, oh yeah, and N999, and also the it was an angel with like a sword, the heat of the sun or something like that. I think that was in 001. I mean 001 SCP though.
Hmm. You know, like they're like 682, 096, 106, and and a little bit of other SCPs are like most of the really known SCPs are in the first like 1000. And like so the classic run, if you will.
How are you not dead?
I'm cheating.
Raven. Oh,
Who did we? Who was he running away from?
Peanut.
Okay. Does anyone remember the name of the robot that upgrades things?
The robot that operates
19 something, I think it is, or 79 or
194.
what is it?
194 or 914.
Room not found. I don't know if it's the room number. I don't know how to do it.
Like 419, right?
419 maybe.
Like yeah, 419 or 417. I can't remember. Was that
No.
machine?
I have no idea.
Maybe it was 941. No, none of those are room found, so I don't think that's right.
I can check real quick.
Oh, I don't know if I'm using the command correctly anyway, so it's fine.
Does it have to be around the 400s?
No, it has to be below 1,000 though.
Okay, so are you looking for the room?
I'm looking
Like,
for the
what do you-
room number. I don't know how to use the teleport. I'll just go find it, because I know where it is. I just have to go no clip to it.
Oh my gosh, 344 Schrodinger's can opener.
Whoa, wait, read that. I'm interested now.
All right. Description: SCP-334 is a Blink brand manual can opener manufactured sometime before 19 blank. When an attempt is made to use SCP-344 to open a tin of canned food, there is a probability that as soon as the top of the can is fully open, the food inside will be replaced with live versions of whatever the can originally contained. The amount of live material released is equal to how many separate individuals of that given species were required to produce the contents of the can, provided the weight of an individual remains is above 0. For example, if a can of tuna has the remains of 50 tuna in it, then 50 live tuna will come out of the can. Compressing items like this into a small space causes significant pleasure resulting in the objects being propelled out. Pressure, excuse me. Out with some force, potentially causing injury to anyone within the area of effect. Live organisms in a can that is opened by SCP-344 undergo no observable changes. So basically, what it does is if you have like a can of bacon and you open it, a pig will like jump out of the can. That's basically what it is.
Hey guys, it's the guy.
It's
the guy?
It's the guy. Look at the boy.
Oh boy.
Get put in the machine, bitch. Oh no, he moved too fast.
L.
Yeah, L for me. I'll just no clip outside the map. Then what are you gonna do, bitch? Whoa, he can walk outside the map. Whoa. Wow.
Wow.
You should find a raid target.
I was gonna say we could raid Koro since it's her first game back, but she's done streaming. Ooh, Ginger,
Zuki Umbra's who
Ginger.
I'm gonna go watch, so could raid him.
I could propose Ginger Snap.
Hey Kata, are you gonna stream?
Yeah.
We
Probably.
could just raid you then.
I'm probably not gonna be streaming till like another hour or so. So.
Oh, okay.
I'll think about it.
Yeah, K9 typically doesn't stream till 11:30, 12 o'clock.
Yep. If the clock hits 1 EST, then I'm not gonna be streaming that day.
Hey, Autumn is live.
I try to stream every other day though. To try and keep consistency.
Notice.
Infinite stamina.
I'm following you on Twitch with notifications.
I appreciate it.
Ooh.
I can't fucking
I just
see
don't
anything.
ever show up.
You don't be liking my push notifications?
Archlord is live on Team
I be
Epic
feeling like I have
Productions.
some
No,
good
they're
push.
great.
Exactly. I feel
No,
like I've been having some
they're
good
great.
push
I always chuckle
notifications.
I chuckle to myself every time I see them. I just don't click on them.
Rather clickable. I need to figure out how to make a clickable push notification.
They're very clickable. I just don't because I'm always in bed and I don't want to open Twitch when I'm in bed.
Cause you're a bitch.
Oh shit.
He got fucking roasted.
Oh, no.
We could go to Kine is live, Autumn is live, or Archlord is live, because you might remember Archlord from the Patreon hangouts.
Oh.
It's live. I just forgot that I followed him the other day.
Wait.
Under Team Epic Productions.
AG is live. Oh yeah.
Lanfear is live.
They're with Kine and them playing Among Us.
Lanfear, Zomeza.
Oh wow, the NightThemedRave is live.
Fog.
Let's go.
Shotenma is live. It's been a while.
Shotenma is live.
It has been a while since we've raided show.
Alright, are we going over to show?
Yeah, sure.
He's also our only
Yep,
VIP at the moment.
We go to Shotenma, guys.
I'm waiting to get shot.
Yeah, let's... Yeah, sure. We could rate our VIP.
I can't tab out, so... There you go, I got shot. If only I wasn't in God mode.
Alright, are we starting the raid?
Yep.
Alright, like usual, guys in chat, please use NTR raid. And I guess we'll see y'all next week. When, yeah.
Yep.
I was gonna say when Riven starts the raid, but you fucking started the raid as I was gonna say that. So now it's awkward.
See you next week. Give us your money. Watch us on YouTube. Remember to follow the Twitter. Join the Discord.
Join our
And
Yeah,
make
join
sure
the
to
Discord
follow
for
me
find
as
out what
well.
episodes we're
Yeah, go
going
follow
next.
K-Dot, our unexpected guest, but very welcomed.
K.Rex at Twitch TV.
Twitch.tv/K.Rex.
Okay, bye now.